guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Nastasia, and first of all, I want to apologize that I am wearing glasses because I know it kind of reflects. I try with my ring light, I tried to turn my light down as far as possible where you could still see me, but yeah, I apologize for the glare. I'm waiting for my contacts to come in, and I would film without it, but today I'm doing a book review, and so I kind of have to see the pages, and I'm blind without my glasses. So like I said, I am reviewing this book called Looking for Lovely by Annie F. Downs. It is a Christian book. She's a Christian, and I wanted to just put my review out there. This book isn't new by any means, but I had it laying around, so I decided to read and review it for you. Right before I get into it, if you end up enjoying this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay updated on my videos every time I post. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is what the book looks like. It's super pretty. I actually really love the cover of this. So this is just the paperback version, not hardcover. If you were wondering, this is $16.99 when I got it, at least. US prices. So I don't know if it's the same or not, but the actual like theme of it, or like the category, is religion, spiritual life, spiritual growth. So all of that. So it definitely is more of a Christian book, but I would say it's also kind of like a self-discovery slash like improving yourself book. So it's not just about scripture, it's also about like her life. So, in summary of what this book I would say is about is she does, so Looking for Lovely, the idea is that she, I guess, didn't really find herself lovely, and she's struggled with that like most of her life, and so the book is like talking about her different, like her life and different areas of her life that brought about different lessons that she's learned. So it tackles physical beauty, the idea of like, does she need a relationship to be happy, that kind of thing. So it talks about like, section 1's called In the Absence of Absence of Lovely. Section 2 is, I believe, In Search of Lovely. And then section 3 is When I Found Lovely. So it's kind of like a full circle kind of book. So it talks about how some of the chapters include, like the very first one I believe is called Quitter. So it's about how she has always been a quitter. She's always quit like everything when it gets hard. Another one is like tragedies, so her dealing with tragedy. Another one is farmer's market, and just finding the beauty in things. So I definitely relate to this, because if you watched my last video about positivity that I posted, then you know that I like to try to look for the beauty in things and the positivity in things to get my vibes up. So this is that's kind of what she's talking about too. But I do like that it's a very, she's not a perfect person by any means. Like, she's not pretending to be, she's not pretending to have her life all together. She actually states quite a few times that she's not like where she wishes she could be, but that doesn't mean she can't still like talk about it, write a book, all that stuff about it, and that it shouldn't hold you back if you're not exactly where you want to be yet, to bring people along on your journey with you. I wanted to kind of do an overview of the book. It's about 200 pages with like the epilogue. It's like 194. It's a really easy read. Like, it's all very relatable stuff. So she talks a lot about her, like, how she's grown up. She lives in Nashville, so different places in Nashville that she talks about, and relates it all back to like the lesson of that chapter. But it's all very personal, so it's not like it's difficult concepts. She relates her real life to the struggles, to the lessons, puts them all together. All the chapters go together, but they're different in their own ways, if that makes sense. I'll read a couple of my favorite quotes that I have highlighted, which is why I need the glasses, you know. So she quotes Matthew 7, verse 7 through 8, for everyone who asks receives, and the one who searches finds, and the one who knocks the door will be open. And she talks about how she said, quote, and I'm fully expecting to see God to do something. She says, I'm watching for a miracle, not looking for one, but watching for one. And the idea that she was giving was she expects one to happen. I think in this part she's talking specifically about her love life, and for God to bring her love. And so she's expecting it to happen. She doesn't know when, she doesn't know how, she doesn't know what, but she is going to be positive about it and expect God to do a miracle, whatever that looks like. And she's not like looking, wondering, will God do something ever? She is just trusting that he will and living her life with the expectancy that he is going to do something. This is a good one. She says, if you aren't allowing yourself to feel the hurt, sadness, loneliness, and disappointment of this fallen world has to offer, you probably aren't feeling the fullness of the joy and the beauty the redeemed moments have to offer. And she says, there's beauty in choosing to feel the pain, in calling hurt what it is, and not pretending every day is okay. Don't ignore the hurt. So I love that. So for any of my folks out there who struggle with depression or anxiety, like I do sometimes, it's so important to recognize your feelings and not only know that they're there, but accept them and not choose to sit in them and decide that this is the rest of your life, that you're just going to be sad and depressed forever. But knowing that they have a purpose, and the purpose is usually to pull you closer to Christ, to help you learn lessons. One chapter she talks a lot about her and her friend and how they are so different, but they're so beautiful in their own ways, and how for a long time she was looking for friends that were just like her, very similar to her, but it's actually a really good thing to just be open to whoever God is looking to put in your life, because she compares it to colors, and she compares it specifically to a home where like one room will be one color, another room will be another color, and when you look in the hallway and you see like the hallway plus the room together, it complements each other so well, like with the blues and like the yellows or something like that, and that it would be beautiful if it was just the same color, but it's more beautiful because they complement each other. So she's talking about people in that way, and that you don't have to be like somebody else to be beautiful, and you don't have to be like somebody else for you guys to be beautiful next to each other. So that means physically, that means emotionally, personality-wise, spiritually, everything like that, with goals and dreams. Too, it doesn't have to be the same, so not to compare yourself to others. So I like that a lot. This is a good one. I don't have to know where things are going. I don't have to know the destination. I just have to trust the path. I love that too. You know, the idea that the dreams God has given you, you don't have to know how he's going to complete them or when he's going to complete them. You just have to take the action you can take, trust the process, trust God's timing, not stress about the things that are out of your control, and just trust that it will happen the way it's supposed to. Yeah, so those are some of my favorite quotes from this book. I think we'll do positive and negatives, like pros and cons. I think pros of this book, it's a very easy read. It's very easy to be relatable to this woman. She's great. And she spoke at my school a few years ago, which is when I got this book. And she's literally like a freaking pixie fairy. She's my favorite. I love her. I just want to be her friend, honestly. She seems absolutely incredible. She has other books too, which I plan to read. There's one of, like, I think, Let's Be Brave. I think that's what one is called. And there's a couple others. So I do love that. I love the idea of her being so vulnerable in this book, and being so brave to open up about the things she struggles with, this like history of her life and things that were hard for her and everything like that. That's very admirable to somebody who I am an advocate for vulnerability, and I think she does a really great job of that. I love her writing style. She doesn't do everything too serious. She does a lot of like sentences in caps lock when she wants to emphasize them. I feel like I'm like talking to a friend, where it doesn't have to be, like, it's still grammatically correct and professional, but like everything doesn't have to be so perfect and pristine for her to get her point across, which is great. I love the concept of the book. I love how raw it is. I love that she recognizes that she doesn't have to be perfect or even where she wants to be in 10 years from now to write this stuff yet. Love all that. So I think overall those are really good things. Any cons I have? I did feel like this is not a bad thing about the book at all, but she does talk a lot about her life, which is not bad at all. If some of you out there are looking for a book like that, that's like self-help, but also a lot about stories, a lot about the author. This is a great combination of that. I mean, personally, she did probably mostly like each chapter was like 70% story and 30% like lesson or like how to apply it to your life kind of thing. And I'd kind of want it flopped if possible. For me personally, I just like the idea of like 30-40% of a story and then the rest being active ways that I could implement the lesson into my life. But I'm also like really into self-improvement. So if you're like kind of easing into that topic and more want it heavy on the story, then this is great for that. I did feel like she talked about other people a lot, not in a bad way, not like gossip, in a good way actually. She gave a lot of credit to her friends and so many people who have brought her this far and have been supportive of her, which I think is really important. But sometimes I got a little bored with how she was talking about, like she was just, a lot of chapters would be about her friends and how they have impacted her and stories about them and stuff like that, which is not bad. And she did always relate it back, but sometimes I got a little bored and like kind of skimmed it a little bit more. Overall, it was a really good read. I really liked how she used scripture and throughout the book. I didn't find anything biblically wrong with what she was saying personally, but you know, that can be up for debate. Yeah, I think it's a good sound, like, Christian novel. If you watch my review on Girl Wash Your Face, which you totally can, if you haven't yet, I will have it linked right here and down below. I would say this one is heavier on scripture and than Girl Wash Your Face was. That was more self-improvement, self-help, and a little bit of the fact that she's a Christian. This, everything tied back to Jesus, I think. And so I do love that. I love that. I think that's really important, especially for like books you read in your free time. Overall, I would rate this book maybe like a 6 out of 10. For me personally, just where I was at, I'm sure it would be a 10 or 11 out of 10 for some people and maybe even lower for other people. For me personally, I was just looking for something that was a little bit more self-help, like strong. But it was still really, really good. Like, I would say like a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know down below, have you read this book? Are you interested in reading this book? Have you read any of Annie Downs' books? What do you think about her? Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, you know, let me know that too. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.